time I heard Tony Robbins say this, oh my gosh, goosebumps everywhere. My entire mind, body, and soul just resonated all at once. And honestly, I didn't even know exactly what Tony meant by this. Like, how can business be a spiritual game? Because at the time when I thought of business, I thought about how so many businesses are greedy and evil and destroying the planet only for selfish profit. And when I thought about spirituality, I thought about enlightenment and joy and sunshine and rainbows. Of course, now I'm an entrepreneur trying to heal our planet, and I know from personal experience that spirituality is not all sunshine and rainbows. But at the time when I heard Tony say that business is a spiritual game, I'm just like, well, how can that be? Now, he went on to explain this further, and you can help to spread this powerful insight to more people by simply liking and subscribing now. Also, I created a Facebook group called YouTube Influencers of Tomorrow. Stay until the end of the video to find out more what that's all about, but you can find the link to join the group down in the description below. Okay, so essentially business is about being driven by a mission and a purpose bigger than yourself. It's about having principles and values lead you towards some vision for a change you wish to see in the world. Now, today we are living in a sea of selfishness, right? So many people's missions revolve solely around themselves, and that is why we are seeing so much corporate greed out there. And the problem with coming from a place of greed is that you lose a bit of your soul in the process. Yes, you can still achieve financial success, but you can't achieve spiritual fulfillment. So the key here is to flip this around and instead come from the heart of service. That way you can go above and beyond just achieving financial success, right? You can go on to align with your soul's ultimate purpose, because what is money anyway, right? Money is an exchange of value, right? It's an exchange of energy. Money itself is energy, and so business is a game to see who can add the most value, who can do more for others than anyone else is doing in your industry, and to go above and beyond yourself. So the mission then really is to fall in love with the people you are trying to serve, right? Not just the products or the services that you are offering, and to come from a place of genuinely wanting to make a difference in those people's lives. And something else that Tony says, that the secret to business and really just all of living is giving, right? It's not about what you get. It's about what you can give. But here's the key though. You have to have in order to give. You can't fill someone else's cup when yours is nearly empty, and that's why it's so important to focus on improving and developing yourself first. Like for me, I'm in a position where I'm trying to have more for myself so that I can ultimately give more to others. And I actually had a person tell me straight to my face the other day that in actuality I'm selfish because, I'm always so focused on building my brand and doing personal development work. But try to look at it this way instead. So on an airplane, they tell you that in an emergency, you must put your oxygen mask on first before you can help others put theirs on. Why? Because you can't help others if you yourself can't breathe. Well, the same thing applies here. I need to put myself first by gaining the knowledge and the skills that I need before I can deliver that to all of you. Not to mention, I need to fulfill my basic needs of food and shelter and safety before anything else, right? And Abraham Maslow supports this idea too in his hierarchy of needs, and he says that we first must fulfill our basic needs before we can ascend and become self-actualized and contribute beyond ourselves. And once we reach that point, we become so aware of everything that we can take ourselves out of context to see the bigger picture. And even Master Stephen Coe supports this idea, and he says that so many people out there have good hearts but empty pockets, so their ability to give is limited, and a lot of that has to do with old poverty consciousness thoughts that have been injected into us. But these thoughts are just energies, and we can remove them so that we can generate more prosperity energy, and the more prosperous we are, the more people we can help. So I bet some of you are thinking now, Ari, yeah, this all sounds great, but still the whole notion of business being a spiritual game sounds kind of airy-fairy to me. Now here's the thing. We are the creator of our life experiences, right? Our reality is a reflection of the meaning we choose to give things. So when you start seeing business and life as a spiritual game, it will inevitably become that, and reality will shift from being mundane to being divine. Now, one last story I want to share really quick with you is a summary of my business journey, and I want to do this with the intention of getting you all to know me better and to understand where I've come from. So my business journey actually began when I was 4 years old, And I remember walking around my grandma's house and putting price tags on everything because I just wanted so badly to have a garage sale where I could sell things and make money from it. Then in 3rd grade, I started my first business where I brought in these little toys to school and I set up my desk like a little shop, and there were price tags on everything, and the kids would line up by my desk with money in their hands ready to buy things. And then in 4th grade, I started my second business where I started doing other kids' homework for money. Now this is definitely something I shouldn't have done because, it definitely went against moral principles that I should have been following, but hey, I was never caught, so I just kept doing it. And also during this time, I'm not going to point fingers at anyone, but there was an adult in my life who acted as a really bad influence whenever I was around, and they would actually steal stuff from the store right in front of me, like all the time. And so at the time in my little kid brain, I'm just thinking, stealing is no big deal as long as you don't get caught. And so with that in mind, one day when I was at my grandma's house, I saw that my uncle left $100 on the table, and when I saw it, I remembered, stealing is no big deal as long as you don't get caught. And at the time, being a young entrepreneur, the whole idea of having the possession of money got a little bit too much for my head. And, I actually did get caught for that, and I was 8 or 9 years old at the time, I can't remember. But anyway, now as an adult, I know that it was not my fault that an adult had a bad influence on me. However, that doesn't mean that I wasn't responsible for it, right? And the reason I share this story with you is because I want you to see how business really is a spiritual game. Karma bit me right in the ass, and just because of that experience, I felt so much shame and judgment, not just internally, but also externally from my family members who knew about it. And just because of that, I stopped being entrepreneurial until literally last year. So almost a whole decade and a half. And when I got back into the game of entrepreneurship last year in 2020, I instead came into it with the heart of service, not selfishness. And when you come into it that way, yes, the journey can still be challenging, but you'll find that the universe and other people will want to help you along the way, right? Because like Tony says, life supports what supports more of life, meaning that when you can find a way to come from the heart of service, life will indeed support you in big ways. So the choice in business and in life is always to either create an energetic flow of giving or to selfishly focus on only yourself. And I know that none of you wants to feel the same guilt that I did back when I was 8. So just by choosing to give, you will achieve more than financial success. You will go on to become spiritually fulfilled and to leave your legacy. Now, if you're someone like me who currently is or is aspiring to utilize YouTube to make a difference in the world, then please feel free to join my new Facebook group called YouTube Influencers of Tomorrow. Whether you identify as an entrepreneur or an artist or a content creator, storyteller, or healer, then this group is for you. YouTube is a long-term game, and we don't have to embark on the journey all by ourselves, right? We can come together to support one another through the highs and through the lows, and that's why I created this group. So the link to join is in the description below, and I will be going live in the group every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where I'll show you how to do things like start building your audience, how to get your message out, how to post consistently, and really just how to have your authenticity really radiate on camera. And also, if you have yet to do so, please consider supporting me on Patreon. I made the goal at the beginning of this month to reach 5 patrons, and so I'm currently at 4, so I just need 1 more. So for as little as $1 a month, you can support me and my mission. And if you do decide to donate, I'll give you a little shout out here on my channel. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. To let me know that you've made it this far, comment down below, #IamACreator. And yeah, feel free to reach out to me if you ever want to connect. And yeah, I'll see you soon for the next episode.